Kingpin.
How are you?
Good. Go ahead. What do you guys got?
What's up, Torey?
Candy. How are
I
you?
thought I'd reintroduce myself to you.
I haven't seen you in a while. You just got a haircut recently, I bet.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do when you guys go on the road.
You look fantastic.
Play golf, get a haircut.
Good. Good.
Joey, just your thoughts on the decision that you guys made to designate?
Yeah, look, you guys, you know me. These decisions are always hard on me, hard on the player, and we did it for one reason, based on performance, and unfortunately that's what this game is. It's all weighted on how you go out there and perform and help your team win games, and it just wasn't getting there on the level that we felt was going to give us an opportunity to win every fifth day. So the decision was made, and I don't want to get into the conversation very much. It'll still remain private to me. We told him last night, and he handled it like a pro, just like you think that he would. You wish each other luck and shake hands, hug, and you go separate ways. It's what we do in this game. We're conditioned to it, even though it's sad and heartbreaking at times. You move forward, and that's where we're at right now.
Was this among the most difficult conversations of that nature in your career?
It was up there. I've had some tough conversations, I'm not gonna lie. This was definitely up there. I had what I feel like was a very strong relationship with Bum. It was different than anybody in this room knows, and that's what I'm gonna miss most.
Torey, it almost became like an annual ritual. Spring training, to talk to Madison about his efforts to develop a changeup for an aging left-hander with declining stuff. How important would that have been to him, and what kind of efforts went on between himself and the coaching staff to develop a changeup?
A lot. He came in, asked questions, tried to make adjustments, would try something new if it didn't work. Somebody might be a little bit more patient than him and continue doing it game after game, but he wanted a quick remedy, and if it didn't work, he was going to try the next solution, and he couldn't quite get to something that he felt comfortable with that specific pitch. I watched countless bullpens this winter. I watched them in the lab 4 or 5 times, and he just had the unique ability of taking a baseball, putting his hand, changing a grip, and landing it in the lab and getting good data on it, and then for some reason it just did not translate into the game at the level that he was feeling like it had success. I think he's a perfectionist, and if it wasn't there, he's going to move on to the next thing. So the effort was there on both sides, and it was. I watched our pitching group work tirelessly with him. I watched Bum work as hard as he possibly could. Just unfortunately, the results were not there.
Mike discussed there being a sense of urgency based on how well this team is performing. And you kind of felt that same sense of urgency.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big word around here. We talk about it. We're trying to move forward every single day, and we feel like if you're not, you're gonna run over. And this is a very competitive game, and we gotta keep moving forward with what we think is going to help us win baseball games today and then tomorrow, without looking beyond today. So, yeah, I mean, Mike places a sense of urgency upon us, which I love. And we all avoid complacency because of how driven we are. And I think he felt the same thing, and he was living to that standard as well, which is what I would expect.
Do you think Madison has anything left that you can utilize somewhere else?
Maybe. I don't know. I know there's probably a lot to unpack for him. He just wants to settle down. I'm sure he wants to get home and just hunker down and think about what the next steps are. I don't know what that means. He didn't tell me any of that. It's just my feeling, knowing Bum the way that I do. But, if he can develop some pitches and land them and sequence things, I think any left-handed pitcher that's throwing mid-80s can live a long time in this game. I saw Jamie Moyer pitch into his 40s and almost won a Cy Young Award doing that. And it's a long list of left-handers that have done that. So I think if he wants to, he's got to find it inside of himself to go out there and find a way to get it done. I think he could.
So he needs to reinvent himself.
I'm saying reinvent himself, just maybe change pitches and sequencing. Yeah, a little bit.
Over the last few starts, seemed like he was, you mentioned sequencing, over the last few starts, it seemed like he was like pretty quick on the pitch count.
Mhm.
Were there any, I guess, questions about him going by his own game plan or the game plan that you and your staff would have outlined for him?
I think it was a blend of it. He was very good at reading swings. It was one of his gifts that he's learned over the years. I think he was taught very well by a handful of veteran pitchers in San Francisco as to how to read swings and how to apply his stuff to that. But we continue to emphasize the importance of the catcher also reading the swings. And even though we have a young group of catchers that they would determine when it's time to go here or here on which side of the plate. But it was definitely a blend. The game plan was something that was constantly being pushed into his sequencing. But I think there were certain pitches he liked to throw. It was obvious. I think he got cutter heavy when his back was against the wall. I think the rest of the league knew that, and that was a pitch that just wasn't working as well as it used to. And I think that's where he got hurt.